guys, we are 3 weeks out from the Vancouver Pro. It is about 5 o'clock right now in the morning. Just woke up. I'm going to start my day off with my morning routine. And today is going to be a rest day, so I want to bring you guys along what I do throughout the morning, for my entire day, on a day where I'm not training. For you guys that don't know, I was diagnosed in 2023 with colitis, ulcerative colitis, and in 2020 I was diagnosed with celiac disease. So what I do every morning to make sure I'm not getting any flare-ups in my gut is I start off with two things, and I'm going to show you what that is right now. So first things first, we're going to do one full lemon here, lemon water, detoxify the liver. And the other thing I got going on here, I got one full bunch of celery, wash that with the fruit and veggie wash. We're going to juice that. Okay, here we go, get the juice. Alright, there it is. We got our 16 ounces of celery juice. Down the hatch. Send those off to Doreen here. Just do the screenshots of all the pics. Send those over so we can get the plan for the rest of the day. Time for some coffee while we're waiting. Got R.Kin coffee in there, which is organic black coffee with reishi mushroom. Really amazing. And we're going to bring that to go. Alright, so on our way to the lake, because I've been doing my cardio just walking outside, so I do a little 10-minute drive over to the lake, do my cardio there, just because I find it's been really helping with my mental health, just feeling good. Because I'll be honest guys, you know, this 4 or 5 weeks between Toronto and Vancouver, it's been harder than I thought it would be. At Toronto, I was so dry, and I felt like I had really brought a really good package there, but I guess just because of how dry I was, the stress on my body, I started getting the colitis flare-ups again, and of course that weekend I didn't bring the juicer, so I didn't do my celery juice, so I was off the celery juice for a few days. But I did notice that, you know, my gut did have some stress, and that kind of stressed me out. And then, of course, stressing out of my mind, went back to my gut. I was in a good state of mind, that's for sure, because I meditated a lot. I had my family and friends around me, and I knew I looked good, and I practiced my posing a lot, and I was shredded and all that. But again, just the stress on my body and how dry I was. When I was posing, I would feel things like parts of my body start to tweak. Like I strained my hamstring, and my foot actually started to like cramp up to the point where I couldn't walk. And it wasn't a normal cramp. It was like it almost felt like it was like bruised from posing, and that lasted like almost 2 weeks. I mean, it's now 3 weeks out, and yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit better, but I was like having a hard time walking properly, just from all, I guess, the pressure that I was putting on my foot, on my hamstrings, again, how dry I was. So when you're in that state, you know, you're very vulnerable. Also mentally, you're vulnerable because you know you're going up against all this opposition, and there's all this pressure online as well. So basically what I did leading into Toronto Pro was, for a week before the show, I just got off social media altogether, and I had my girl just kind of, if I was going to post anything, I just have her post it. So I didn't even need to go on there. I didn't respond to anybody. I didn't check DMs. I didn't look at anybody on social media or even look at my own things. YouTube as well, I just stayed off that, like everything. So I'm doing that again now. Not as extreme. I'm just not interacting as much or looking through comments as much. But I'll be honest, I mean, sometimes you see something, that's kind of the issue, right? Is when I post a YouTube video, or if somebody else posts a YouTube video or an Instagram post, for example, or YouTube, because YouTube's got all the show updates, and of course, you know, people have their criticisms, and some people think, hey, I shouldn't have gotten fourth, but on the other hand, some people think that I should have won the show. So you got to take everybody's opinion with a grain of salt. And what I do is I tell myself, I have this talk with myself that I am a champion. I feel like a champion. I love being a champion, and I know that I'm a champion. And when I do that, I start to feel that emotion rise back up into my crown, as opposed to staying low in the center of my gut where it can cause anxiety. So I think, you know, all of us deal with the struggle of comparison online and wanting to be better, especially in this industry where people can be kind of savage in terms of their criticisms and their opinions online. It's almost like no one's filtered anymore. I feel like people used to be more filtered in their opinions, and they were maybe more aware of how they said things and what they say, whereas now I feel like people just, they say whatever without any regard for what those words or how those words might affect the person they're directed at. So it's not to say anybody's at fault, it's just a way, it's just a thing that we have to work through. It's a challenge for us all to deal with. And again, it's important to disconnect. It's important to have those conversations with yourself. And ultimately, you have to remember that no one can make you feel a certain way. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, you still have control over how you respond, how you react, and ultimately how you feel about that situation. So all this to say, man, it's been hard. I mean, there's been a couple times where I was like, should I even keep going? I mean, fourth place, it's not like I was second, where I know I can, you know, be right there. But at the same time, I know I am right there, so I'm not letting any self-doubt creep in. We're 3 weeks out from the Vancouver Pro, and I'm giving my 100%. I'm just being smart, and I'm being cautious, and I'm doing the things I need to do that are going to make me better and self-constructive, instead of being so harsh on everything and becoming self-destructive. So that's part of my journey that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope this helps. I think talking about it honestly helps me. And like I said, going down to the lake to be near the water where it's peaceful. Again, it's only 10 minutes from my house, so it's amazing. And sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and it doesn't always have to be in the gym. So that's what we're gonna do today. And we're gonna make it a great day. Every day is a great day. That we get to live and breathe and train and live the dream as a bodybuilder, which is what I always wanted to do. So for all you guys out there pursuing your dreams, pursuing your passions, remember that when you have those doubts, that's a pivotal point in your journey. When you have those doubts, because that's when you need to decide who you're going to become. Am I going to become the person that quits, or am I going to be the person that finds a way? And even last year I told myself, whatever happens, I'm going to find a way to make it to the stage at my best. And I'm going to do the same thing this year. And so however hard it gets, I know it's for a reason, to make me stronger, to teach me lessons, to grow. And ultimately, that's what this journey is about. You know, we're building our bodies, we're building our minds, we're building our spirits to become more resilient, to hold more love and passion, not only for ourselves, but to share with others. And you know, that's why I enjoy doing these vlogs. But either way, I just think it's important to remember that you've got basically two options. You can either give up or keep going. And if you give up, you become a quitter. And if you keep going, you become a champion. So that's why I just keep telling myself. So let's keep making every day a great day. And drink coffee. Because who doesn't love coffee? Alright, so this is where I start off. Right here at the beach. And this is where I'm going to end up at the end to do a little meditation. But just check this out right now. There's literally nobody here. It's not as sunny today as it was yesterday or the day before, but that's okay. Because again, it's peaceful here. Just check that out, guys. I mean, how are you going to beat that, right? So let's see if we can get a good 45 minutes, 60 minutes, and like maybe 7K steps. And then we'll end up back here for a little meditation by the water. Let's go, guys. Let's have a great day. All right, guys, so we're back from the walk, feeling good. We got in about 5,000 steps. It's about 48 minutes of walking. And one thing that I've been doing recently is just listening to like a higher vibration type of binaural beats type thing on YouTube. So this one's really good. Magnetic Minds on YouTube. And you know, just again, like disconnecting and stuff like that. So, you know, I love my podcast. Shout out to Fit Nation, all my boys. You guys are amazing, and I love being entertained. But at the same time, sometimes it's just a little bit too much information overload. And so for this walk, I just put on this and just let my mind kind of relax a little bit, kind of just go on run on its own as I walk, and it feels good. So we're gonna do a little meditation, and then we're gonna head home. Most important meal of the day, best meal of the day. And we've got 8 ounces of flank steak here. I've got 50 grams of papaya. And then we've got 80 grams of the grindstone blends, unflavored, with 50 grams of banana and 10 grams of macadamia nut butter with a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of salt. Papaya, amazing for gut health, for colitis, any kind of gut health, IBS. One of the best things you can eat. I almost forgot to say my little prayer before I eat. Time to train some clients. So we're here at the gym, and always an amazing day when you get to come to the gym. And it stopped raining. It's starting to heat up a little bit. So if it does get hot enough and the sun comes out, then we'll maybe head over to Eric's house and go check out his pool, his amazing backyard. But for right now, we're gonna head in there and we are going to train Presley. So I'll probably get a few clips of that, show you guys what it's looking like, and then we're gonna do some posing as well. Of course, pure muscle and fitness. I've got myself a coffee here so I can just chill for 20 minutes or whatever, and here in the personal training lounge at the gym, so we got some nice comfy couches. Show you guys what that's looking like. So that's pretty cool. Of course, we got some HD supplements here on tap. You know, you got your Vita HD, your Kidney HD, your Liver HD. Those are the health essentials. And then Betaine HCl for digestive support. Let's go, Big Presley. We're working hard today. Big back day. That's it, man. Good. There it is. Staying on those legs. Relaxing the neck, throat open position, moving shoulder. That's it. There it is. Good, good. Yeah. Nice. Execution for the whole muscular. All right, that was awesome. Presley, absolute fucking monster, and looking very aesthetic with still very good conditioning. 8 weeks post-show at 270 pounds. Now, I'm absolutely starving, so I'm gonna get into this meal right here, meal 2 of the day, which is, we've got 8 ounces of salmon, and I've got also under there 250 grams of sweet potato and some okra as well. All right, guys, so I'm here at the Burlington Baptist Church. I'm actually going to NA meeting right now. So I've been going to NA meetings now for a little while, actually quite a while. And you know, it's just been really helping me out a lot. I'm gonna go in now, but I'm gonna come back here and we'll speak about that a little bit, but why it helps me and kind of what I was struggling with, because I feel like I haven't really talked about it, but I feel like it can maybe help you guys, and of course it's good to always let things off your chest. So that was so nice. I'm glad that I came today, because you know what? Today was the first day that I was actually really able to help somebody. There was somebody new, 6 days clean. They had a couple relapses recently, and I was able to give them my experience, and they said that what I had told them and also what I shared in the group had really resonated with them. So that just made me feel so amazing. And look, now the sun's out, and it's great, you know. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background, when I was, you know, starting as a bodybuilder, started training 16 years old, 17, and did my first show at 18, natural, and competed natural 19, and then did my first cycle at 20. And around that time, I had met a good friend of mine, we're still friends now, who had introduced me to marijuana. And as a natural bodybuilder, I was super proud of the fact that I was drug-free, and I told myself, I'm gonna be drug-free forever, because athletes don't use drugs, and winners don't use drugs, champions don't use drugs. But I was introduced to marijuana, and I had one of the freaking best times of my life. And then, you know, throughout, you know, university and things like that, I would hang with friends, and we would get high, we would smoke, and you know, it was just kind of a normal thing. And you know, we would all hang out, we'd go to parties, and I was not a drinker. The first time I ever tried to drink, I got really sick. And the second, third, fourth, fifth time I tried to drink, every time I would get sick. And I kind of felt like I was alienated because I couldn't drink. And people would invite me to parties, and they'd be like, oh, you're a party pooper. But I realized that I'm just somehow allergic to alcohol, so I couldn't drink. My mother's the same way. My mom, she can't drink alcohol. She gets sick, even with a little bit of alcohol. So I could never drink alcohol, but I could do drugs, and I like to smoke marijuana. And my friends at the time liked to smoke marijuana, and we would all train, and we would smoke, and we would eat, and we'd have a great time, and it didn't seem like it was an issue. So fast forward to when I started partying, 2021, I met somebody who was in the rave scene. She brought me to a rave, and I ended up doing MDMA for the first time, and that was the friggin' best time of my life. And so I was like, oh, I love this. And I didn't realize that, of course, being an addict, addicted to food and having bulimia, and then actually ending up being a drug addict, because pretty much every drug I would try, I would love, and I would want to do it all the time. So that happened with MDMA. There was like a year that I was doing it like every day, and it was mind-blowing to me, the fact that I could just do it every day and try to work. But then what ended up happening was I got myself into a lot of trouble, and I ended up homeless. I had no money to pay for rent, and I had lost my job because I was doing drugs, and I had also been kicked out from my grandma's house because she found my steroids. And I was in university at the time. I was in first or second year. So I had nowhere to go, and I didn't want to call my mom because I didn't want her to be ashamed of me, and I couldn't bear to tell her the truth. So I decided that I would sleep in the gym. So I actually ended up, for a while actually, before I slept in the gym, I actually went to a shelter downtown Toronto, the Scott Mission, and I would sleep there, and I would get food there, and I'd talk to the chef, and they would give me extra food, chicken and rice that they had extra from the kitchen. And then I started working, and I got another job working at Good Life. And I worked at many different gyms, but then working at Good Life, there was a 24-hour Good Life, so sometimes I would go to Scott Mission and sleep there. Sometimes I would just sleep at the gym if I had early clients or whatever. And I would just sleep on some mats. I'd just get a bunch of mats and just sleep there. But I was still struggling with the drug problem. So then I ended up getting fired from Good Life because they caught me smoking weed there while I was on the job. And actually some of the other employees, we all got high like during our shift, and then they caught me with the weed, and I got fired. So I basically decided, okay, I have to change something because this is just not good. So I ended up getting another job at a restaurant, and I worked there, and I would go to the shelter, and I saved up money, and eventually I was able to get my apartment back, different apartment, but I was able to pay rent. And all during this time I was still bodybuilding. I was still eating the best I could. I was still training. I was still doing everything that I could. And then I ended up, even during this time, believe it or not, I even ended up winning the junior national title. I was staying at my friend's house, the friend that I mentioned at the beginning. We trained together for the show. We went to the grocery store together. We did everything together. And we were smoking weed during the time. And we went to Quebec together. And even the night before the show, we did MDMA. The day of the show, we did MDMA. And it was a real problem. So I knew in my heart I wanted to be a professional bodybuilder. So even though I was getting away with it, I was looking good, and I was somehow winning some bodybuilding shows, I knew I'd never get to the next level. So now, 23 years old, I decided I'm not going back to the rave. I'm not going back to the drugs. But it wasn't easy because there were so many relapses in between. Just like with the bulimia, it was like a 10-year thing. And so even though the hard drugs were out, I haven't done any hard drugs since 23, 24 years old. No hard drugs. I swore those off because I was just scared of what it could do to me, if I'm pursuing bodybuilding and taking steroids and doing these hard drugs. I was scared. But I was still addicted to marijuana. Now, when I would prep, there would be a point where I could just easily somehow cut out the marijuana in contest prep, knowing that it's going to hinder my conditioning, hinder my focus, make me lazy, and all that kind of stuff. But in the off season, I would let myself have it. And I would compare myself to other pro bodybuilders that do smoke weed, and do win shows and are successful and have made it to the Olympia, and I would tell myself it's okay, you know, I'm enjoying my life and everything's in balance, and you know, but what would happen is if I wasn't high, I would start to have cravings all the time, and I would start to think about the next time I would get high, and I would, not only that, but I was also spending money on the marijuana, whereas I could be spending that money on other things like my wife, my girlfriend, or actually bodybuilding, or saving it. But with all that money going there and my mental health suffering, because I knew in the back of my mind that people say, you know, marijuana is not addicting or you can quit at any time. But for me, when I would say I'm gonna quit, my mind would go berserk, and I would have panic attacks, anxiety, insomnia, and I had all these side effects that felt horrible. And so then I would go back and forth and back and forth. And now I'm grateful to be now 90 days sober. Last year, I also made it to about 60 days. And then I decided one day, and I was going out for a nice walk, and I'm like, you know what? You know what would make this walk even better? If I walked to the cannabis store and grab a joint. And boom, as soon as I did that, I was back on the freaking weed. And I made a commitment to myself that I will never go back to the weed. And today it really showed me the power of staying clean and sober, because today was the first time that I was actually able to help somebody by sharing what I had to say in the group, and then sticking around for a few minutes afterwards and just telling them like, hey, listen, I felt exactly what you felt like. And even though I'm feeling so good now and I'm feeling confident now, there were times where I would sit through the meeting and all I could think about is just how badly I wanted to use, to smoke and just relax. And every evening, you know, like, oh, I just can't wait to smoke, can't wait to relax. But I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to be, and I'm not, reliant on something else to control the way I feel, to change my mind, because I'm in control of my mind. And so all this to say, that's what I struggled with, and that was my challenge, that every day I'm getting better. Every day I'm a real champion. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I know a lot of people out there maybe use marijuana for medicinal purposes, and again, that was another reason why I started using again, because when I had been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, when I did research on remedies for ulcerative colitis, there were many people talking online about smoking medical grade marijuana to get rid of the symptoms, or eating edibles. And so I was like, oh yeah, well, there's another excuse to use. But it brought me back to the addiction, and the addiction is way worse than the gut health issue, because the gut health issue I can manage in other ways. The addiction I can only manage in one way, and that's to stay sober. All right, we got meal number 3 right here, which is 8 ounces of whitefish, which I'm eating haddock today. I've got 50 grams of broccoli, 225 grams of white rice, and then I've got 15 grams of organic coconut oil on there. And I'm absolutely starving, guys, and I'm starting to crash, so I'm gonna get this meal in and then maybe just chill for a bit, maybe take a little nap. Let's go. Look who's home. What do you got there?
We made turkey breast, our own turkey. That's what we do, we slice it in turkey breast and truffle sauce, and then tomato and sourdough. But we didn't have any other veggies, so this had to do.
Looks good.
Oh.
It's okay. Cheers, baby. You gotta look in the eyes. You almost didn't.
What do you got there?
I got a venti ice green tea, light ice, no water, no liquid cane sugar, and 2 stevias. What do you got?
Hi. I got almost the same thing. I got venti passion tea, light ice, no water, no liquid cane syrup, and 3 stevias.
You always gotta tell them if you get these not to put water in it, because otherwise they just water it down. You're just paying for water.
So basically, they have like their tea mix, which is hot water and tea, and then they make it cold, and then they add ice, the tea mix, and then they add water too to like savor, I guess, their tea. But it's already water.
They're trying to rip you off. That's all.
Yeah, so you have to say no water.
No water.
And the beefiest ones.
The beefiest, greenest, most full of chlorophyll ones.
Why don't you get organic?
We haven't been getting organic.
But why?
Usually they're smaller. Usually they're like really small, eh? The organic ones.
Get enough so I can have it too.
Yeah, for sure. You've been feeling really good on them, eh?
I like them.
Awesome.
What are we gonna do? Smells. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're gonna smell some of these.
I have to tell you something funny after I can't tell you on camera.
Look at this.
Oh, don't let people see you smell them. Like there's someone right there. Right there. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't embarrass me.
Ooh.
What was that one?
Coffee cake muffin. Oh, smell that.
Oh, we should get it. Let's get it. Let's get it and bring it to my mom's house.
Okay.
Oh, so yummy. Okay, so it's a lemon waffle ice cream sandwich.
What's that?
That's iced tea.
Oh,
I'll try this one too.
try the iced tea.
Oh, look kombucha. He said tea.
Ice black tea. Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's good.
Good? Hey,
So good.
stop embarrassing me.
Yeah, but at least I'm a little girl, like a young woman. No one's looking at me. Everyone's looking at you because your muscles.
So you're allowed to sniff and I'm not allowed to sniff?
Well, you have to be more discreet. That's why. Oh, I got sourdough.
Okay, I've got your meal, baby. Right here. Take a look at that.
Sleeping. Ooh. Yummy.
So you've got here the cream of rice brownie with a scoop of protein powder, 15 grams of nut butter, and here's your fork. You falling asleep?
I was sleeping.
You're gonna eat though.
Can we switch forks? This one's bigger.
Here you go.
Yeah, do you want to eat outside?
Yeah. And I've got 8 ounces of turkey here, 250 grams of white rice, and then I've got 50 grams of rapini and some tomato and cilantro.
That was good with the cilantro.
Oh, and I got 15 grams of macadamia nut oil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I added chocolate chips too. Okay, Ramsey, what's your verdict? Give me.
You put chocolate. You put chocolate chips in it so that I wouldn't complain about it, right?
That's it.
So what do you want me to rate it or something?
Yeah,
Out of 5 or what?
out of 5 stars.
7 stars.
7 stars. Whoa. Kitchen. Got some nice fresh asparagus and mushrooms here. Got some fish, cooking, meal prepping. Getting set up for the week. Right, baby?
Yes, baby. What else we got? I would love a sandwich, to be honest, but I already had a sandwich.
I'll make you a sandwich. What do you want on it?
Turkey
Yeah.
and like lettuce, tomato,
Yeah.
The greens, like the greens I made you go back to buy.
Yeah.
And then maybe like the truffle sauce.
Done.
Okay, cool. Our cooked turkey breast sandwich. And then, did you put that on mine?
Yeah, of course.
That's Robin's.
So we got 8 ounces of, this is eye of round steak, and I've got 275 grams of sweet potato, asparagus and mushrooms, and a little bit of these microgreens for health.
Oh, you want them?
Okay?
You want them on your meal?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, interesting.
Sauce. Because this is the only one that doesn't have like any mustard or anything that I'm allergic to. So. Sauce. It's really nice. Real salt. Organic. It's got some organic garlic salt, celery salt. Put it on there. Prep Secrets 101. We're making waffles. Again. Fish and waffles. You've heard of chicken and waffles, right? Have you ever heard of fish and waffles?
Not in my time, no.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Fish and waffles.
Here's the first waffle. Look at that. Doesn't that look good?
Does
Fish.
you love the macadamia nut butter? That's macadamia.
It's so freaking good.
If you're wondering.
It used to be all about the almond butter, and I told you we're gonna do macadamia nut butter, and you said, I don't know if I like macadamia nut butter. And now you don't even eat the almond butter. You won't even go back to it. Look. And then I've got 50 grams of wild blueberries.
Ooh, those look good.
10 grams of the macadamia nut butter. It's 9 grams. One more gram. Steve Reeves. Oh. Goes on, then we finish it with a little bit of cinnamon. So, there's the meal. 8 ounces of fish. Look at that. Fish and waffles.
Boom, baby.
Just ways to get creative on prep. Instead of having a bowl of cream of rice like I have every night. And since I'm taking out the protein powder for right now, I'm doing fish and waffles, but you still make it really good. So, yeah. So let's try some.
I could try it.
I offered to make you some, you said nah.
But I didn't want a whole one, I just wanted a bite of one.
No, you can't have a bite of mine. Oh, perfect. That's all you need. Just smelling it. Oh yeah, that's good. But I'm gonna eat the fish first, then I'm gonna eat the waffles after. So, another day, 3 weeks out from the Vancouver Pro. We're bringing a better, fuller, stronger, healthier package with that StrandStrong conditioning. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like below. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, healthy people build more muscle.